When Rise PC launched, I was expecting a little boost for the game's relevance. We'd see some new players who maybe didn't get to try the game on the Switch, and also a lot of players who wanted to enjoy the benefits of PC quality coming from the Switch version. I did not expect to see the pretty massive success the game has seen on both Twitch and of course its Steam sales, as it's doing pretty damn well. But how well is it actually doing compared to, say, PC World? How will this affect Monster Hunter going forward? Let's take a look. Over on Twitch, you can hit the browse button to see all of the categories of the games, which defaults to the most popular or most viewed currently at the top. At 2 PM in the afternoon on a Tuesday, Rise sits at number 10 for the most viewers at the time. And that is incredible for Monster Hunter. And that's almost a week after the launch of the game, sitting up there with the giants of Twitch like Apex Legends, CS, and Minecraft. How has this happened and why is it so popular? There's a few reasons, of course, but there's a pretty important one that you should consider. Rise Twitch rewards, incentivizing viewers to watch some Rise. The special event running from the first week of Rise PC launch, called the Rise Huntathon. From January 12th to January 19th, you can receive the Hunters Guild gift set by gifting just 2 subs to any of the Twitch creators part of that event. The rewards are 2 voice packs for Utsushi and Hinoa, and also a Palamute and Palico layered set, and the Kohoot hood, and finally the Fox mask layered for your hunter. The rewards are pretty solid, and for anyone who wants to simultaneously support a creator they like, share some subs with the community, and also get some in-game rewards, it's pretty damn good. We actually knew about this event before it happened because we were lucky enough to actually be involved as one of the Twitch creators listed. So over on the RageGamingVideos Twitch channel, myself, Hollow, and Rage have been live with that event. And I was interested to see how this event would not only do for us, but everyone else. Obviously Twitch viewership, because most events actually aren't run like this. Drop events are often more tied to simply watch time. Watch for X hours and get a reward. In Siege, that might be get a pack to open for cosmetics. In Tarkov, maybe you get a different in-game item. The first one of these I ever did was back for Paragon, which is a now dead MOBA from Epic Games, pre-Fortnite era. And I was one of the streamers who, if you watched during that period, you'd get various Halloween skins for the characters of that game. My normal viewership at that time was, say, roughly 200 viewers a stream. During that week, my viewership went up to about 1,000 to 2,000 concurrent viewers during drops. That's how much of an impact it can make. But these drops in Rise aren't free. You have to gift subs to get anything in this case, so that's less impactful in that way. Yet it has still seen a great impact for the relevance of Rise. Not only do people, want those rewards, so they're willing to gift some subs, but people are like, hey, I want to get a free sub. If I hang out, I'm probably going to get one. And many of those streamers that you can actually gift the subs to for those rewards have never played or streamed Monster Hunter before, which in turn has shown Monster Hunter to a massive new audience via Twitch, who have been greeted with the awesome game that Rise is, as we all know. I've seen a bunch of VTubers, Dota competitive players, Final Fantasy XIV streamers who have never even played Rise or Monster Hunter stream it to massive audiences this week, who have, been new to the series entirely. I'm sure that's been good for the game sales on Steam, but how good has it actually been overall? It's been pretty solid. These are the official numbers for Rise PC since its launch only last week, at an all-time peak of 133,629 players at once. The peak in the last 24 hours, 110,000, which is only 20k less at the max peak. The max peak was surprisingly not on the day of launch. It was on the Saturday and Sunday, so it had grown steadily throughout the week. It'll be very interesting to see how these numbers play out over the next few weeks and months, while players go through the main chunk of the content that Rise has. So far, it's doing really good on Twitch, and its concurrent players is very strong, but what about the actual sales of the game? This tweet from Daniel Ahmad sheds some light on that, having now sold a cumulative sum of 8 million units. On its way to 1 year post-launch, Rise had sold 7.5 million units as of October 2021, and naturally that's been boosted by the roughly 500,000 from Steam sales. So roughly 500,000 sales for the PC version so far, in its first few days. That can be only expected to grow from here on out, and then hopefully burst at the upcoming launch of the Sunbreak expansion this summer, which, very importantly, is releasing at the same time as the Switch version, which is something extremely frustrating for a PC player like myself back with World. How back then I was behind on all the content. World PC version didn't work the same as Rise PC version. It launched in the 1.0 state with none of the updates and new content. And so, every new update, every collab event, I would sit there looking at the people enjoying that on the console versions, knowing that I wouldn't have that for months and months. It took a long time for the World PC version to actually catch up and then actually meet the same release dates. The PC version of Rise has launched straight into post 3.0 with all of that drip-fed updates we've had in the last year at once, you know, the many events and collabs. That's a big deal because it means they're not trying to squeeze it out. Could this mean that we're getting closer to the ideal situation where PC Monster Hunter launches at the same time as a console version? That would be great, but you know, who knows? The interest and demand is clearly there though, and with this Twitch event, new marketing methods exist to push Rise out to new audiences. Let's take a look at the Steam numbers for World as a comparison. World's PC launch was back in August 2018 to an incredible peak of 329,000 concurrent players, which is a little less than 3 times the PC Rise launch. Shoot forward to September 2019, over a year since that launch on PC, Iceborne dropped, which pushed World back up to a peak of 100,000. So yeah, pushing the player base back up, but less than you'd expect. It wasn't until a few months later that we see the real peak in January 2020, where we saw some incredible numbers again. It was back up to 284,000, which is nearly as much as its launch. Why then? What happened? Why did it happen so late after launch? Honestly, I'm not certain. The updates at this time were quality of life and bug fixes, which yeah, are important, but compared to a major release versus bug fixes, it doesn't make sense. Stygian, Zin, Safi, and the Guiding Lands were actually released in early December, which saw a reasonable boost in players, but nothing compared to that boost in January. So I'm assuming the Christmas and holiday season had a huge hand in this. What do you think? Anyway, will Rise see similar numbers, or perhaps even bigger? Comparing January stats to February is going to be interesting on its own. And then of course the sales and stats when Sunbreak drops is going to tell us a lot. What we do know for certain is that Rise PC is very popular right now, and that Huntathon event is safely said to be a success. So we can certainly expect more events like that from Monster Hunter in the future, and that's exciting. Just imagine though if Rise had crossplay, the Switch and the PC player base playing together. It's entirely possible, and is actually something the devs have acknowledged, but said they couldn't do it, with no explanation beyond that. Which is very frustrating to me. A series like Monster Hunter doesn't have crossplay in any form. That is such a fumble. Meanwhile, games like Dauntless, which by the way has come a long way since its launch, has insane crossplay options, not just between Switch and PC, but also Xbox and PlayStation, so it's clearly possible and would be an incredible thing for us to finally get from Monster Hunter. They know we want it, but is it actually ever going to happen, and when? Still, PC Rise has been a boon for our community, and we'll be seeing lots of new hunters in the next months, and also of course Sunbreak, which is only a good thing for Monster Hunter, and only a great thing for PC Monster Hunter specifically. Let me know your thoughts on all of this though. It's been interesting for me to look at the numbers and the timeline of it all. If you have enjoyed this, please drop a like, and maybe I'll be able to make more videos like this in the future. Until next time, I've been Hollow, you've been you, thanks for watching.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.